Hey guys, this is a video about Python web scraping, the quick and dirty way to do it. It can get you up on your feet within a few minutes, pulling data from websites using Python. And this example pulls the price of a particular couch from a website and prints it out for me. Here's my website. It's this couch. I'm interested in the couch. I want to see when the price changes and when it goes down, so I can pull that data from the website into Python, manipulate it how I want, and use it. So that's what this video is all about. The code is here on GitHub under Utter Practicality Python Web Scraping. I'll put the link in the description. As you can see, that's all the code for this particular example. And it's quick and dirty because it just pulls all the raw text from the web page, and then we use Python to find exactly what we're looking for and extract it. So let's get started. I'm on a Ubuntu AWS instance, so that's where my code's running. Here, if we look at our web scraping file, our Python file, the prereq is to install the requests module, the request Python module. This allows us to do GET requests on websites, and the website just looks at it like an HTTP request and gives you back the data. So to start off, I import requests to use it. I also import sys so that I can actually exit the program if I determine that I want to stop, like if I run into an exception or something. I have two functions, this getWebPage function and this parse page content function. So this getWebPage function will, as it says, pull the data from the web page. Parse page content will pull from that data the snippets that I want. And here's the main function in which we define our URL. This is from RC Willy. This is the URL of this website. I then set page content equal to the results of my getWebPage function, passing in the URL that I defined here. It does its thing, and I'll walk through that in a minute. And then I set the couch value to the return value of parse page content, inputting into parse page content the web page. So here we go. To get the web page, we take the URL. I'm initializing an empty string, setting a variable I'll use to check if there are any errors. I'm setting it to false because there aren't any errors. This is just some error checking that I chose to do. So I'm going to try to get the web request using the requests module with the get method of the requests module, inputting my URL that I passed in here. And if that fails, then I'm just going to print the exception and set error to true. If there is no error, I will return the text of my web request, and that is with web request.text. So this is my requests object. From the requests module, I do requests.get, the get function on the requests module, store that request into web request, and here web request.text pulls back the text for that web request, and then I return all that text. If there is an error, so as you can see, I say if there's not an error, do that. If there is an error, if I have error assigned to true, then just print web request failed, exiting, and then I exit the program, because I don't want to continue to parse if there's nothing to parse if it failed. All right, so if that's all successful, we then get page content, which is the text of the web page. And I can actually show you what that looks like here. So I'm going to print page content. Okay, this is just going to be a web page. So I'm going to run it. All that junk. This is HTML. Okay, all this HTML and JavaScript and whatnot, as you can see it's a lot, makes up the web page. So how do I know where my price is? How do I know where this price is on the web page and in all this junk? Well, in Chrome or Firefox or any browser really, I'm using Chrome. You can right click on the area of the web page you want, inspect. This shows you the raw HTML. I'm going to expand that a little bit so we can see it. And I see here there's some information that's bolded. It's highlighting this for me in the strong. It's making this content strong. There's the $17.99.99. But I also see there's some meta data here, and it looks like that's actually the real kind of source price, and that kind of gets pulled in here into the bolded or strong content. So I want this. I want that line. So I can look at that line and try to extract the data that I want from there. So I can search for that in my Python file. I can search for that line and extract it. Oh, let's go back to our Python file. And where we were is we had just returned the contents of the web page. I'm going to comment that out because I don't want all that to print on the screen again. So next we run parse page content, this other function that I have, passing in the value of the web page that I just got, passing that into this parse page content method. I'll assign it to couch value, which I'll then use to print. But into this parse page content function, here I have my web page, and I'm going to find the index in that string where the value is price content. Okay, so as we can see here, I'm just finding that. Okay, you see the quotes, and this is an escape character, this backslash, so that it looks for another quote there. And so it doesn't think it's the end of my string, but it knows that I actually want to look for a quote. From there, I assign this to this variable value, the page content, that whole string, at the index of couch index plus 30 characters. So I get that line, the start of it, where it finds price content, right here, and then I add 30 characters. That's just an arbitrary number I put in to make sure I collected everything to the end of the line. So I've got that whole string now. So if my value is not empty, that I got here, then I want to split it out a little bit and just extract the number values. So I'm left with the value. So I return the value, and then that gets put into couch value. I then print it, and there we go. So let's run it again. All right, now we're running it, and as you can see, that's all it returns. So the usefulness of this program is that I now have the data that I want. I can schedule this script to run whenever I want. I could schedule it to run once a day, for example, and just pull that value, and I could have it email me if that value changes, or I can put that value into some sort of a list, and I can just keep appending to that list and put the date in there or something and say on this date the price was this, on this day the price was this. This could be useful for airline flight tracking as well. I know there's a lot of stuff out there, but if you want to customize it, you could pull airline data and make your own little tool. So stay tuned. I'm going to make a few other videos about web scraping. This is quick and dirty. Again, there are better methods to do this, and I'm going to get into those, but this will get you up and running pulling data from a website. And I'll also, in another video, show you how to actually make this useful and how to send an email to yourself, how to store this data and track it. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope this was useful to you. See you next time.